Let's compare The Good and the Beautiful to Christian Light Education. And no offense to Good and the Beautiful, but allow me to just blow your mind with the differences between these two curriculums. Same grade level, so I'm going to show you the kindergarten literature. By the way, this is language arts and literature, so this is another thing that The Good and the Beautiful does. They combine reading and language arts together. They don't separate them. So this booklet right here that you're looking at, this is an entire year of kindergarten reading, essentially. Your teacher's guide and student work is all just within this one book. And then I'm going to compare it to the Christian Light Kindergarten, which their kindergarten program is split into two parts, Kindergarten 1 and Kindergarten 2. And just with Kindergarten 2 alone, you get your teacher's guide. This is just your teacher's guide. It's thicker than the Good and the Beautiful entire course book, including the teacher's guide inside of that. This is just your teacher's guide for Kindergarten 2. And then you get 10 of these workbooks for your student to work through, but I'm just going to show you one workbook. Then we'll also take a look at The Good and the Beautiful first grade math. Again, this is your book for the entire year for the first grade math, but this is your teacher's guide as well. And when I say this is your teacher's guide, I mean inside The Good and the Beautiful, what you say to your child is in the same book that they're doing the work, if that makes sense. It's not a separate teacher's guide. Whereas Christian Light Education, first grade math, you get two teacher's guides. This is just the first one, 106 through, or the second one, 106 through 110. So two teacher's guides. This is just what I'm teaching from. And then again, 10 light unit workbooks for them to work through throughout the year. I'll show you examples of lessons and how different these two curriculums are, but also keep in mind, Christian Light Education's kindergarten program combines math and language arts and reading all into one. So it's not like separate, like how you have reading and language arts and then math with The Good and the Beautiful. With Christian Light Education Kindergarten, it's all in one. Okay, so let's start with The Good and the Beautiful. And just so you know, this is the older version. They did like revamp it. Might look different than this if you're using this for kindergarten. So here's just lesson 1. You can see your teacher guide part here, what you read to the child, you know, beautiful things. You look at the artwork. I do love the artwork in this curriculum. Then over here, again, here's your little teaching section up here. And then the child is saying the letter sounds, assuming that they know their letter sounds. This is the thing. There is a curriculum before the kindergarten level with The Good and the Beautiful. It's like primer or something like that, or even their preschool level where they touch on letter sounds more so. So by the time they get to this, they're blending the letter sounds, right? So your child would say it, up, and blend them together, right? So they practice that out loud. Then we're looking at sight words here. And then down here, we're getting some handwriting practice. 1, 2, 3, 4 little tries. And then lesson 2, I'm not even kidding you. This is the whole lesson. Like, I'm not exaggerating. This is it. This is all they're doing. As you get further into the program, there are other activities you can do with them, like practicing the sight word ladders, which is them just reading sight words, practicing little phonics cards. But other than that, they're just doing like one little pages per day. This is great if your kid has a short attention span, if they benefit from really short lessons. But to me, my kid just was not getting enough practice, and it really, really showed. Also, you probably heard me talk about before how this curriculum, especially the math, is all over the place. Like, talk about jumping around. It is a spiral curriculum, but they take a spiral to the extreme where they're just like learning way too much at once, bouncing all around, and not retaining anything, in my humble opinion. Oh, let me show you Christian Light Education. Just the teacher's guide alone. Mind you, this is your teacher's guide and student workbook. This is just my teacher's guide, what I'm reading to my child. This is me teaching her. Teaching. Like, it's actually too much sometimes. Like, sometimes you notice how they split it into sessions, right? Because it can become very overwhelming. This is all one lesson. Every page that I've showed you would be one day, and then this would start the next day. Just what I teach. So while I'm reading and teaching from the teacher's guide, this is pictures of what's inside her workbook. Now, whereas The Good and the Beautiful kindergarten, they just assume that the kids already know all their letter sounds and they're ready to start blending if you did the pre-K or primer version of Good and the Beautiful. With Christian Light Education, I believe this is more developmentally appropriate. So we're starting with the A sound in this case. So all of our different words, they have these little rhymes that are super cute. Look at this. Already, they're getting so much practice. A, D, M, and S. These are the only letters that we've been focusing on the last several weeks. So she's just tracing uppercase to lowercase, sink, ant, duck, tracing. So this is phonic. She's getting that phonemic awareness. Then we get into the handwriting. Look at this. She's tracing getting her practice. Again, only the letters that we have really practiced so far. It's not like they're throwing new stuff at her. Again, same letters, doing another little activity with it. This is all one lesson. Same letters. Letter sounds like this is an accident, a dustpan. She's getting the handwriting practice and the phonics at the same time. And then this is the rest of the lesson. We didn't finish it today. Again, it can be kind of heavy duty, but then we're combining the math as well. But I don't really want to show you the math in here. I'll compare it when we get to that. But you can see she's getting so much practice within the same skills. Here's her number practice. She'll get practice writing the numbers, counting, and then we get into our next lesson, which will be a new letter. So all those letters that you just saw, like the A, D, M, and S, now we're going to add in another letter. Now, I do want to show you real quick because the kindergarten 2 program, what I'm showing you right now, hold on. I'm going to show you the last light unit of kindergarten 2 because right now you might be thinking like that kindergarten program with Christian Light looks way too easy. Well, let me show you how they progress. So this is the last light unit before they move into the level 1, learning to read program with Christian Light Education. So last light unit. So you can see by the end of this program, there's the math, right? Where they're already starting to add, counting big numbers. We've made it all the way to Z. Remember, we introduced new letters every so many weeks. Lots of letter practice here. Subtraction. Look at that, already getting into place value. More phonics stuff. So you can see they advance pretty quickly. Now, Good and the Beautiful kindergarten. So I know I have level 1 here, but Good and the Beautiful kindergarten math we also did for all of kindergarten. It was awful. Sorry if it works for you, great, but it did not work for us. They also did these things. You know, they did the place value and they did all this. But again, it just seemed like it was just kind of thrown together and there wasn't a lot of teaching. This is you teaching your child. This is all they give you. Now, this is great if you get overwhelmed by something like this. This can be very overwhelming. I totally understand. But I just felt like I wasn't really teaching, you know, like we weren't really learning together. So I am running out of time. I am going to do another video comparing first grade Good and the Beautiful math to first grade math with Christian Light Education.